then I'll grab you it.
And this is it. People are gonna know what they
Yeah.
actually sound like. Well, actually, pull you up on the thing.
There we go. Okay.
And can you switch this one? Why is it not taking? Where have you sent it, mate?
Send it to your DMs now.
Oh, there it is. Bro.
There you go.
And can you?
I'll send it to the league.
Right. What's your Twitch channel, mate? Dylan.
Tinnypuff TBM. All lowercase, all one word.
Oh, bloody hell, you did just send me a fucking link. Just look at that. Fuck, you silly fuck. Oh, look. What's going on with swearing, by the way? Because I will try and.
I don't mind, to be honest.
No racism,
It's not the
obviously,
leagues.
nothing like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, nothing like that. No trash talking players. But apart from that, you can say what you want.
No, I definitely won't be. No, right. What was I gonna say? How do I mute this?
Okay.
How do I? I just.
Alright, cool. I'll send it on my Twitter as well. This is
Cheesy
always the most
Bush.
painful part. Nobody ever joins.
Cheesy Bush. What are the teams, by the way?
So on defense we have Tyrant Gaming, and on the attack we have No Strats, their B team, I believe.
Why? Wait, how do I stop? Hang on a minute, this isn't good. Dylan, how do I get the I don't want to be coming through your mic. I don't want to, because obviously yeah, I don't want to be coming through the party chat, if you know what I mean. I'm hearing like a relay back.
What do you mean?
Like, how do I mute the actual, Twitch?
You just turn... Are you watching on your phone or on the Xbox?
No, on the Xbox.
Okay. I recommend you probably can just watch it on your phone, and then just leave it on mute and watch.
Okay.
Because
That's
that
fine.
way you'll come through without any issue.
I'll do that then. Right, here we are. I think this is it. But yeah, no, this
Okay.
is definitely got to be the most painful part of this whole soul casting thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, the it's a rookie error, but what are the teams that were actually playing in this scrim, mate?
So the orange team is Tyrant Gaming, and the blue team is No Strats. Yeah,
Oh,
Shadow, I have
okay.
ads now because I got Twitch affiliate. I can't.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, just cheeky ad at the start when you load in, but that should be everything. Is Villa.
Cheeky little flex there.
Yeah.
But could you just tell me a little bit about either team? You know, who they've got,
Right.
if you know much about them, that is.
So, hi Apollo. Yeah, it is your hype man. So basically, Tyrant Gaming, they've gone for a few changes, so we can expect people like Dean Elite to be playing. I'm not sure whether he is today, but Shadom is. They're playing Villa. I've seen them play Villa 3 times, and they've lost 3 times, so they're going to hope that trend ends now. But I'm not too sure who's playing. I believe TM Feather is playing, as well as
Oh,
Preps
okay.
and Shadom. And Shadom says they have a trial, so it'll be interesting to see how he fits in. No Strats, their B team, I haven't seen play. I get to see their A team later today, so it'll be interesting to see how they play.
It'll be
Of
interesting to
course, we are.
see. Oh no, you go ahead.
Of course, we are on. We're on Villa, so I'd expect Tyrant to have the slight advantage with starting on defence.
Yeah, definitely. It should be a good little scrim to see this new trialist go through. But also it'd be good to see this new team come and play. I've never seen I'm bad, but I actually haven't seen either team play before. I've heard of a couple players on both lineups, but it should be a good little watch really. First little casting session. So if I make any mistakes, please let me know via DMs, whatever. But also, please, apologies for the Twitter for the Twitter spam today, boys. But please go give Dylan a follow. He's actually helped me a lot through this casting, and hopefully we can just keep continuing this the good vibes and just keep the casting up really. So while we're waiting for the two teams to show up anyway. What time was kickoff anyway for these two teams?
3:30. Games usually
Half
start
three.
later because
Okay.
people always join late, so it's all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Tyrant lineup has definitely changed from when I last saw him. So Cheesy Bush, maybe new. I think Prepser is the trial, because I think Kudos was on it before, and Shadom, he's joined from the Simp Pass, and he was actually on that Simp Pass roster when they won 7-3 against Tyrant last time on Villa.
Oh, that's
But
interesting. Okay.
this No Strat team, I haven't seen them play, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's going to be a washout from either team. I think Tyrant have looked shaky on it in the past, so we'll have to see if they're able to overcome that. And then of course No Strats I've never seen play, so I can't really give any insight on them.
Just for the people watching, by the way, this is just a scrim. Just to point out, it's nothing to do with the league. This is simply, I do believe the scrim was already pre-planned, but just another. Thank you to both team leaders for allowing us to duo cast this and giving us the opportunity as well. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for that. Um, looks like we're just waiting on one player per team, and we should be able to get this started soon.
Okay, so I reckon the last Tyrant player is either going to be Dean Elite, he's the org owner, or it might be TM Feather, because him and Shadon were playing ranked before. So not sure who's gonna be playing that one. I'd expect Dean Elite more, however as they're trialing he may have taken a step back, and of course as usual we won't start until every player readies up.
What Dylan, what average views do you get, by the way, for your streams?
Depends. Some, if it's a league game, usually I'd say about 20-ish. If it's just a scrim, usually around 10-ish.
Okay. And have it's a question, and I should know the answers just because I've been preoccupied, but just from my knowledge, how many games have you actually casted for the league? You know, RXL.
Well, the thing with that is because I was ill before. I was supposed to do the one on Tuesday. However, I had to do a TEG semi-finals game then. I'm
Okay.
doing the Apollo No Strats A team at 5 p.m. and I believe I'm also doing the St Pass Wacko game on Sunday at 7. I think those are my two ones. Shadam said
Not
the
too
last is
bad.
joining now. All good. All good. But yeah, Villa. Let's talk about that map. So of course it's usually defender sided. You only really play 3 objectives there. You never go library living room because it's awful. So typical operator bans. We expect probably a Thatcher, potentially a Monty as well. And then on defense it's usually the typical mirror echo sort of bans. But
it'll, it'll
Thatcher and
be
Monty are my.
it'll be definitely well, yes. Usually, if we're judging it by ranked or previous scrims, comp, etc., yeah, these would normally be the bans. These are the meta, but anything can happen. It'll be interesting to see if Thatcher does get banned, taken off the board. Likewise, with Mirror. I'd like to see something a little bit different, maybe a Legion ban, maybe a Clash, something like that. It'd be interesting to see if the attacking team does implement Monty and how that plays. But yes, Villa defense is very strong. Granted, the team knows the map well, knows its callouts, and can all coordinate and communicate. I'm actually kind of excited for this. It should be good. Granted, it starts
Yeah.
off well. It's not a slow-paced game. Bit of action. I'm hoping for some big things here.
Yeah, it should be a good one. So, Shadam's saying that he's best Legion EU, so they're going to hope that it's not a Legion ban. Just been
Yeah,
messaged from
that might be a
someone.
bit of a shot in the foot there. If any of the blue teams watching this, it'll be interesting to see. But just from my knowledge, of the 6 or 7 viewers that we've got at the moment, who's actually watching? I know it's flank them out around. I'm I'm assuming Orange Team's leaders in there, obviously, just shooting himself in the foot. But be interesting to see who else is actually watching this stream.
Okay. Right, just going to send it to No Strats Discord in the league. They're probably going to want to join chat. Of course, as usual, no players are allowed when the game is in play. They're of course welcome before and after each map. And let me search for. There we go. Okay, so according to Shadam, last one's just joining now, and then we should be good to go. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, of course, with not many VODs to go off of. No strats. They are a bit of a dark horse here.
Yeah, definitely. I keep reiterating and going around in circles, but yeah, it is going to be an interesting one. We won't know any further until obviously the game gets underway. We start seeing our players play. Um, but yeah, just a quick reminder for anyone that didn't know, this is just a scrim. This is not anything to do with the league. If M&K players are in this scrim, um, it's not down to our jurisdiction. It's nothing to do with us, sadly. So just keep that in mind. But let's quickly just focus on the attacking team here. What kind of lineups do you think we'll be expected to see?
Well, I think it really comes down to the bans, of course, because if Thatcher's not banned, which I'd expect Tyrant to ban him, of course he's so strong. So I'd expect the Thatcher ban. If he's not, then it's probably going to be Thatcher Thermite for the majority. We've seen a lot of Nomad sitting on the 90 window. That's a very strong position, especially if the the defenders choose to hold outside of Vault. Just got a message from No Strats saying they're getting a different player in, so that'll be them just switching things up. But yeah, I think we're going to really expect the typical Thatcher Thermite if Thatcher's not banned. If he is, we may see a Maverick. Of course, Maverick, very strong.
Just quickly, for my knowledge, it might be a silly question, but regarding the rules, are they playing it like it's a proper league game, or is it on the table?
So what, skin rules, I mean to say.
Yeah, and obviously the operator bans, that sort of thing.
I believe it's going to be typical sort of skin rule. So elites are allowed, but just no like Wind Bastion, Ember Eyes, things like that. So
okay,
it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Is Malusi an ace on the board?
No.
No.
They are still not allowed until the next season rolls around.
Okay, sounds good. Almost ready, it looks like. What's going on in the chat?
Just getting messages. I believe that's to do with the... Hey, both teams have said they're ready, so we can jump in. So, Villa. It's going to be an interesting one. Of course, Tyrant not got the best record here, but never seen No Strats play. So we'll start with op bans, and as Tyrant are defending first, they get the first ban. And for those wondering what the overtime sides are, if we get there, it's on random, as we aren't doing league setup rules. And Tyrant picked defense.
Should be a good one, then. Just waiting on it now.
It should. So the first ban's actually going to be a Jackal, and that basically implies, as you would expect, Tyrant are planning to roam a lot. So it wouldn't surprise me then if we end up getting a Vigil ban, because Vigil without a Jackal as the only thing to counter him would be drones. He's in a very strong position. Players, if you're in chat, please make your way out, because of course no stream sniping, and Monty is the second ban. And of course Monty's so very, very strong, especially on a map like Villa where you have such long angles he can take advantage of. First defender ban going to be on the board. Is it going to be a Mira? It is. Not a big surprise. As much as we all like to see Mira Strats, she's just a bit too strong. So Tyrant are going to be the final ban. We'll see who they choose.
Thatcher's still on the board,
Dylan.
Echo. That is a big statement. There's a big statement. That could be them saying that they are not afraid. They are not afraid of the EMP. But we'll see who this last defensive ban is.
It is going to be a Valk. So Valk, she's not often banned on this map. However, you can see why she's banned. Cafe and Consulate are more of her sort of bans. And are we going to actually see Dining Room, Kitchen first? Well, we wait for the teams to pick their ops. Andrew, why don't you talk about the bans and what you think of them?
Well, then, I think the bans it's an interesting mix. I've been surprised, really. Obviously, we would have seen the better, obviously, you know, Thatcher and all that sort of thing. But I think this is really good. I think this shows both teams are a little bit ballsy here, especially that Jackal ban instead of the Thatcher ban. Valkyrie is also an interesting one, like you said. It's not really the sort of map you'd usually pick Valkyrie as a ban. The only places I can really think of is through vertical play via, you know, dining, kitchen to master bedroom. But still, this is very interesting. Good start. It should be exciting to see what's going to happen in these rounds.
I think the thing that surprised me the most is they've picked Dining Room Kitchen as their first site. Of course, this is your third site, as it's the site you don't really want to go to. And this is the site where Valkyrie can be quite good on, because you can destroy the floor underneath the bed in master bedroom, put a Valk cam up there, and she can see the entire room. Part of me wonders if the Valk ban was in retaliation for when they played TSP. One of the TSP players, YDB Gunning, was playing that Valkyrie, and it was quite effective as well. So maybe they don't want to deal with it, and they don't really want to run an IQ. But interestingly enough, even with that Thatcher out of, even with that Valk out the way, sorry, Elivs is going to be bringing that IQ. So we're going to see a typical setup from the defenders. Castle being brought, you often see that, and we're probably going to see a standard push, which is a laundry and pantry one. You want to suppress the attackers and make it easy to plant. Cheesy Bush actually going to be playing on site.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Buck and Zofia push above for any vertical play.
Well, Shadam opens things up with a kill onto average before being refragged by Valkmain, but not before Valkmain gets taken to about 1 health, so he is in a lot of issues. I wonder if they banned Valkyrie because the Zofia's name is Valkmain. That could be a good reason why. But interesting that Cheesy Bush going to be playing on that site. I'm expecting, with the Legion dying very early on, that's not an operator you want to lose, as of course he gets stronger with time that goes on. Big Bunny on the Ashes actually made his way into Pantry, but then again it was castled out, so he's just going to break that and be contested with smoke grenades coming out from Prep, so that's very early on, you don't want to waste them that early. And Ash going to rotate up behind by China. I'm trying to look where this Jaeger player is as Elvis and Valkmain clear out Astronomy and the rest of the top floor. I can't actually see Dofa, and he's actually going to be waiting for anybody in Trophy. Nobody is in Trophy, one's in Bathroom, one's looking down Astro's stairs, and he is going to be, if he gets a nice flank, he could find 2 very nice kills. He's probably heard the shouting from the IQ and the Thermite of Manny. Just going to be holding that angle into Laundry. No utility being used in Laundry, which can be surprising, as Cheesy Bush gets a very nice C4 kill onto Big Bunny. The Ash has gone down.
Good kill, good kill.
And that was the only threat from outside of sight. And Kudos also finds one onto Valkmain. Doesn't land all the bullets on Manny, but does get the extra Thermic, which is probably more crucial. The UMP not the strongest gun in the world, and in fact the Thermite is going to run away. And Doofer is very close to Elivs. And this looks like we are going to get a fight as Manny takes a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the pre-fire comes out from the 416. It's not going to do enough as the swing comes through, and Elvis with the LMG finds that kill. And that's all the roaming dead. However, Kudos is alive. Cheesy Bush is watching the flank, and Prepsa finds that kill. He's got 1 smoke left, and he can deny the plant. He's just going to throw it out into Memorial, but Elvis making his way into sight, not going to find it as Prepsa finishes things off. And a very good round for Tyrant.
Just quickly go the last 10 seconds on this, but for that, from a standpoint, it does look like they are trying to implement some sort of strats. The attacking side, that is, the vertical play, pushing with Laundry, etc. I would just want to point out that's some very smart play from the castle there on the. I'm sorry, it was swinging as soon as that Thermite left Laundry to destroy the Thermite charge. That's very good play. I rate that. So far, just looks like some good frags coming through as well.
Yes, we see a sick pick from Average. He goes from Sledge to Thermite. And while part of me is surprised that Tyrant managed to win Dining, of course Dining is not the best site to defend. It was obviously an off-pick site, and it definitely worked because the attackers seemed to struggle with it. They had an interesting lineup. They didn't bring a Thatcher, which I thought they may have. Because it would have been Aviator Games, but however they did have the IQ, so maybe their plan was just to flank underneath sight if it was Aviator, shoot them from below. But we see a more usual attacking lineup as we've got the Thatcher, Thermite, Zofia, Ash. Again, that IQ is an interesting pick. It definitely worked out for Elivs as he found that kill onto the Jaeger of Dofa. And of course, Vigil now being played without the Jackal, he's definitely going to be a player to watch.
Yes, definitely. Just another quick thing there is it'll be interesting to see if the Orange team get 2-0 up here, if they'll switch out that Thermite for a Hibana for a bit more safer play, you know. Be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think, especially as it's going to be Trophy next if the defenders win, you may still want that Thermite for that triple wall.
Especially with that Valkyrie out of play as well. From that Nitro from
yeah,
below.
especially. with that. Dofa's actually playing quite far up, which is fairly interesting. I'd expect him to be roaming near Master to prevent any sort of back push. I believe Shadom is doing that, and it's going to be a study take. And bit slow setup from Prepsa as he puts the shield up fairly late, and Dofa is actually rotated down below, but Big Bunny is running past in the end. So Shadom going to be on the Jaeger. He was on the Legion last time and he died very early on. He got a trade, however he lost all that goo mine utility, which is so very, very strong. So to go on the Jaeger, if he dies, it's not the end of the world, as all of his ADSs are put up. There's a lot of impact grenades being brought, bringing 4. So going to be impact tricking, very much so. So that's good knowledge from the defenders to be impact tricking that. They don't know where it is going to be, and it's going to be the bar one first. That's a bit to the right to my liking. You want it to the left, and you can open up bar behind. And Prepsa is waiting for that thermite to peak, and Average has to be careful. He's used his one thermite, and he's going to probably want to use his other one. But I think Hibana, as you said, Andrew, is very good for this site. She can open stuff up from relative safety. Meanwhile, Cheesy Bush has managed to find the kill onto Valkmain and the kill onto Big Bunny, while Manny takes a lot of damage, and Elviz, goes down to Shadow. That is the punch hole on the 90 windows. That Manny or Average? It is going to be Manny, and Average sees the head of Cheesy Bush. MP7 going to be good, but not do enough. Prepsa peeks it. That's not wise, and he's going to go down as Cheesy though finds Manny, and it's all left up to the thermite player. He's found 1. He's got to find 4 more, and it's very difficult, especially if he's being suppressed by Kudos. The impact comes out. The crouch spamming comes out from Dofa. Dofa on about 1 health, and he's going to look for that headshot. The impact grenade comes out, and Dofa somehow manages to evade all of these bullets, and eventually the thermite does fall down to Cheesy Bush, and Tyrant take their 2nd in a row.
That was a great round for the defending team there. Cheesy Bush, a bit of a dark horse really. He's just come out, got, what was it, 3 frags that round?
Yeah,
I believe.
It was.
That was some great play, great roaming ability there. I liked his play towards 90 there, getting the 2 frags. Yeah, also playing his part, getting another frag. I was quite surprised to see no one, they were able to give up a site that quite easily. No one sat behind bar, you know, on the breach. Just what was it, a Legion in Vaults and potentially 1 more in games. Interesting how they're holding it, but they seem confident, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think they were at a bit of an advantage when the Thermite opened the right wall. Typically, you want the left one because it's the shortest distance to get behind that bar, and it opens up the angle into the game's doorway, into the yellow corridor by 90. So if you open that one up, you can hold a nice long angle. They opened the right one, and Kudos on the Legion could just suppress it from afar, and it just meant Average couldn't push in safely enough. But interestingly enough, no Strats are switching up the operator roles, so to speak. Manny's going to be on the Thermite this time, Valkmain on the Twitch. Now Twitch is an interesting choice, because obviously Thatcher is so much better, and especially with Mozzie in play and all the changes to her recoil, she's just not the operator she once was. So to see her being brought over Thatcher is definitely an interesting choice. But Elivs brings that Nomad, which I reckon is probably one of the more powerful operators in the game, especially on 90, because she can cut off any sort of rotation.
Yeah, definitely.
But interestingly enough, we see Dofa on the Clash. Now Clash is an operator who, just like Monty, excels, I mean to say, with the long angles, and with something like 12-meter range on tasing, she can tase you across the room, and she's so very annoying to deal with.
I'd expect to see that Clash playing Master Bedroom Door, just so she can give intel to all the operators in there, especially as anyone playing below. But again, just quickly to pick up, it is an interesting pick on the Twitch. I don't know if that's the right pick. It's not my choice to say. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, it seems, yes, we do see what you said. Dofa moves up to take position. We've got no Bathroom contesting and no Astro contesting. That's very interesting, as Astro is a room you almost have to clear when you're attacking this site. So to leave it soft is a very risky play. Valkmain on that Twitch is finally going to be showing some actual gunfights. However, Cheesy Bush with the long angle. That's a run out from breaking Study, and he actually finds that kill until he lives, and the Nomad didn't get to put anything down. And well,
great kill.
The Nomad is the counter to the Clash, and
That's
Clash
a big,
is so very strong because
big pick.
she's very difficult to deal with. So out of all the operators, to get the Clash counter is a very good pick to get. So well played from Cheesy Bush. And now we're seeing the stalling, which you often see once a team has lost a player early in the round, and I think it's that nobody is sure what to do. And the impact trick comes off. It's successful. Manny has no exothermite, and he's going to place the second one, or is he? And I've got to say, that's why you bring a lot of impact grenades on this map, and they've actually brought 4 for this site and the last one, but perhaps it actually goes down to average, and Bunny is going to be making his way into sight, but not before Kudos manages to find Manny. That's the diffuser down as well. Big Bunny goes down to Dofa. They didn't look the right way. The Clash is there with her SMG, and she'll gun down anybody left up. Shadow is actually going up the Astro stairs, finds Average, who's trying to blend in like a dead body, and it leaves Valk main in a 1v4 once again, and Tyrant are looking so very strong. She does, however, find Dofa, and the Clash is down. That is the big issue for her to deal with. She does pick up the diffuser as well, and it just leaves Shadow, Kudos, and Cheesy Bush to just hold nice long angles. And the Twitch can't do much as Kudos guns her down, and Tyrant Gaming 3 for 3.
Wow, Dylan, that's well, another strong defensive round. Cheesy Bush again. Sorry to give him more clout, but he is actually playing really well, coming through some good frags. Just a little bit of a confusing play, really, of that Sledge laying down on top Astro. I'm very surprised he didn't hear the Bandit coming up. Or was it Jaeger or Bandit? Regardless, still surprising. Still surprising didn't hear him come up. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it is the map. Maybe it's the fact that it could be a new team. They may be putting people in different roles. But the attacking team here do not look strong, and they do not look confident in how they play. Hoping to get some rounds in from these guys as well. But there is that Hibana pick that we thought they would have. And they've got a Twitch, Thatcher, and a Thermite as well. How do you think that's going to pan out, Dylan?
Well, to ruin the Twitch, she does get sick picked to Zafia, but more interestingly is Dofa going from Ella to Frost. So I think the attackers have a bit more of an advantage here. They know they're going to be dining, and dining, if you want to throw somebody off your site pick, you want to go trophy first. Dining is definitely a shot in the dark, a stab in the dark, shall we say. So to win that is very strong, but you've got to wonder, was that down to No Strats not knowing what to expect for the first site? Were they obviously look like the lineup they brought, they had the Buck there, and you typically send Buck below. I believe they had the Buck, and you send the Buck below to destroy the floor. And because a lot of this floor in Dining Room Kitchen is indestructible, he's not as useful. Of course he can go above, but he did die very early on to Shadon. So you've got to wonder, is this same strat going to work out, or is it going to be the attackers that are expecting this site so they know what to do? But the Frost pick is an interesting one, and it is a sick pick, so they're going to hope that droning is not the best from the side of No Strat. We're going to have a look at any potential roamers. It's going to be Shadow looking for anybody coming through Art. And he could actually find a very nice kill here. Indeed, he may. And if he can land the shots, he lights up Big Bunny. Big Bunny goes down to about 1 health. And Shadow going to run away now. Does a lot of damage, but takes a bit in return. We're going to talk about utility, as it is we've had 3 rounds. The defenders have brought 2 proximities, 2 shields, and Nitro, 2 bits of barbed wire. And Elvis goes down to Dofa on that Frost shotgun. So they know there's a Frost now. Frost playing behind the shield, very strong place to play. We've got 6 breaches, 9 breaches from the 3 attackers that are left, as Cheesy Bush finds another one for himself, and Shadow finds one too, with a cheeky run out, and it just leaves Big Bunny and Valk main. And with Big Bunny on such little health, Dofa with the shotgun, gonna run out, find one. Can he find the second? No, he can't. The Thatcher refrags Valkmain
Well, great
keeping
play.
his team in it, and again it's a 1v4, and the bullets come out from Shadom, and Shadom's going to play it really aggressive now, going to look for that Thatcher, light him up even some more, and Valkmain is very much in a world of hurt. He's going to pre-fire that Jaeger, not land the shots, and down he goes with Shadom finding that one for Tyrant. And Dining's known as a very hard site to defend, and Tyrant making it look easy.
Tyrant are definitely doing some bits right now. They do just look like the better team. I hate to say it, but they do. They look very strong on defense. They all look like they can trust the roamers, and the roamers look like they can trust the people holding sight. They implemented that rotate into Laundry. I don't believe they done it on the first round, which was held well perfectly. I'm very surprised that we didn't see anyone rotating up into Master Bedroom, aka Sophia, and get into that vertical play to push her out from that shield to destroy the frostbats, etc. But great round. Cheesy Bush again going off. Sheldon making some good plays as well. I'm very shocked that I would have ripped down that door and I would have just been there peeking around the corner waiting for anyone to peek. If you ever play me in ranked, I'm not going to be there now.
So we do see the Ash of Average being sick picked from the Capitan. We saw Prepser going onto the Pulse from a Kaid. And I think the thing with No Strats is they're swapping roles around so much, is they're not really getting to grips on that roles. We've seen Average play Thermite, we've seen Manny play Thermite, we've seen Elivs play Thermite. They need to stick on set roles, and I think with more experience that will come. With Dofa actually on the Cav. Cav's not a scary operator at higher levels of play, of course, as you just need to grind her out, push her, and she goes down. But she is... Are we going to see a shield get placed on this corner of the archway and allow for a rotate back in? Because otherwise, that's very risky to leave that open.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Yeah,
so we are probably going to see a study take, yeah. This is probably going to be a study take, let's be honest, when actually some of the attackers are making their way around. We've just not seen the attackers contest normal spots. We saw last time they were here, somebody, I believe it's the Thatcher Sledge of Average on the 90 classical window, but you want that position is so powerful. You can watch for any rotate on your hard breach onto Volt. But once again, looks like a committed study take. I'm looking at impact grenades as Kudos gets taken down. There are no impact grenades to impact Trick. So that Legion went for a run out there, and it definitely didn't pay off. But Dofa is very close to an Ash right now. We could see an interrogation. You love to see it. And now the attackers are very much going to have to run. That Thatcher is very dangerously close, and Dofa's actually going to run out on this. He's got the shotgun. Is he going to find a kill? He is. He's going to find one. He can't be refragged either. They don't land the shots, and Cheesy Bush finds one as well onto a lift. He's going to find a second, is he? Or is the Ooh. Manny with the long angle in Ruins finds that kill, so Big Bunny can live for a bit longer. And another interrogation question mark? No, just a knife, and it's runouts galore. Down goes Valkmain. Down goes Bunny, sorry, under Zafir. And Tyrant picking up a 5th in a row.
Just, that's... It's as if they're watching the stream, they are just completely excelling now. What more could we say? This is just great defensive play. They're holding it well, but it's seriously the attacking team, no strats, are just really falling behind at the moment. I'm not seeing...
Okay, so it's going to be Trophy Statue. I think Andrew's mic has just cut out there. Kudos going to sick pick from Echo to Echo as we have a look, and blue team of No Strats are going to try and find some rounds against Tyrant. Of course, you have to bear in mind, once again, this is a scrim, and you can tell by the operator lineups that keep changing how this one is exactly the same as the round before. They ending. So we're probably going to see a typical Astro rotate.
Apologies, my mic cut out. But just quickly, I'll reiterate what I said on, well, I was off mic. the attacking team just doesn't look like they are they're communicating. It doesn't look like they're playing well as a team here at all. I really want to see them excel, but they just aren't. The defending team's got full confidence and they all trust each other at the moment. That's what it looks like. But it's as if one team's playing it like it's a comp and the other's playing it like it's a ranked. And the attacking team, no strats, has seriously got to start implementing some good strats. And let's get some good plays going. But all credit to Tyrant, they are playing really well on defense.
I think you can definitely tell that they're playing with a lot more confidence. They've won dining twice out of their 2 times going, and Dofa especially with the weird picks. And he showed why Cav can be very strong. Of course, at the high level she can be droned out easily, but if you just make one error while droning and she's in there, it can be a disaster. You saw that interrogation shotgun run out, and Cheesy Bush, ooh, that's a bit dangerous to push that as well, and he's actually going to be pushed by, I'm assuming that is Ash. It is. Cheesy going to rotate, and Average and Big Bunny are actually looking to pinch this player in, and he triggers a cap cam. Ooh, interesting choice by Big Bunny to go down the main stairs when you can hold an angle, force out Cheesy Bush, who's stuck in this position for the time being. Meanwhile, there is gunfire going out. The UMP and the MP5 SD are just spraying bullets, and Cheesy is definitely going to look for a kill here on the Ash, but he didn't actually see her. This could be a very nice kill for Average, and Average finds the shots there. They finally get an opening pick, and Cheesy Bush goes down, but Shaddom has just made his way up the stairs as well. Average is on low health. He has been droned out. He's going to have to run. Or is he going to play this really aggressive? It does seem that way, and that angle is definitely being watched as Big Bunny gets another one. And it's Shaddom. The roam game is ended, but we have to see how they can deal with the anchor placement. I say it's over. We've got a C4. Very nice. The Echo Drone Capcan C4 combo working wonders with Average and Valkmain so low, and Eliv's getting downed by the Echo, but Big Bunny comes out huge. He gets a double, finding Kudos. Can he find another one? No, he can't. The peak from the UMP of Castle of Prepsa finds that one, and Prepsa may peek this. That would be very aggressive as down goes Average to Dofa. The finish, and it was looking so good for no strats, and it's once again all left out to Valkmain. He's on that twitch. He's going to look for the bullets here of Prepsa and Dofa. Actually just going to rotate around. Valkmain's on so very low health. The Echo Drone going to be spotting things as Dofa is the one watching that. And we're going to see potentially a floor kill. Indeed we are. The shotgun coming out there. And Dofa finishes things off. So Tyrant managed to get a full sweep. They go 6-0 at the end of the defensive half.
Yes, another great defensive performance. But what I will say is this: that was a little bit of a spark for that attacking team, Dylan. Don't you think? That was going off great, getting the roam game out of the way straight off the bat, eliminating the bandit in the and the Jaeger. It's just a shame they just couldn't coordinate and sort of get the numbers on the defenders. It looked like they were taking things one-on-ones. Just for example, the Zofia swinging on that cap can. It didn't need to happen. Could have easily played it as a team, played some numbers, that sort of thing. But there's just great play, great cohesion again from the defensive team. I really, really want this to be a close game, but they are just sadly they look like the better team at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see what happens now. Things might change.
I think we've seen no strats. They're definitely getting into the swing of things. They've picked themselves up, and that last round was definitely a testament of that. To be in a 5v3, but to lose it in the final execute is not going to be looking good. And of course, at the end of the first half, we're going to have a look at the leaderboard. Dofa going 9-3. He's definitely been very strong. Cheesy Bush as well. On the other side, it's not looking quite so great with Valkmain and Average. Both got 3 kills, but when you think that last round was the only round that was really somewhat close, because I think something like 3 or 4 rounds were 1v4s, and they were almost always just Valkmain stuck in it. So it's nice to see.
Sorry to cut you off there, Dylan. Just analysing those stats there. It is definitely, just by those stats alone, you can see that it's just been a one-sided game, and who the stronger team is here. I've just read into the chat as well quickly, and point here is that they aren't droning. the attacking team, no Strats were not droning much at all. It'll be interesting to
We're actually
see
gonna
if it'll be interesting to see what
Ooh,
happens.
that was
from it.
dangerous from Average. Average is just gonna get killed there, and there's a fear from Kudos swinging in. We saw droning that last round, but when you're 5-0 down, to only start droning in that 6th round is definitely a missed opportunity, and to lose your roamer of Average very early on as well. He went for a dangerous play, but it didn't pay off. So you can definitely see no Strats are taking risks with this one. Kudos find the kill onto a Livs as well, and that's full site control already for Tyrant.
That's crazy. That's
Manny
crazy.
gonna have to try and find some kills. Prepsa finds Manny, but Valkyrie does find Prepsa. So it's not over just yet, but in a 2v4, it's going to be very difficult. Cheesy Bush, Kudos, playing very aggressively. However, it's now 2v3 as Big Bunny finds that headshot onto Kudos, but the plant comes down from Dofa. Shadow watching for that Legion, finds the headshot, and he's going to look for the last one as well to finish things off. Yes, he does. A sweet 7-0 from Tyrant Gaming. And I said they were shaky on Villa before. However, they've definitely swung things around, taking a flawless victory over No Strats, the B team. And whilst it started picking up for No Strats at the end of the 6th round, that 7th round was not able to show anything other than a pure domination.
It was a great game to watch. A lot of things that we learned there as well is that Tyrant have definitely improved on their Villa game, like you said, and it really looked like they were a confident team. Again, reading the chat, no, one scrim does not show how a team can perform and how individuals can perform. Yes, that is correct, but judging from this scrim, it did not look good for No Strats. Tyrant, on the other hand, very strong, and yeah, just got to keep it up, boys.
Yeah, I think definitely shows a lot of things that No Strats, their B team, can work on. Of course, they didn't look completely out of it, but I've got to say, Tyrant, they could just walk around them so effortlessly. They made it just seem easy.
Sadly, yeah, I agree. It did seem like an easy game. All respect for both teams, though. We just wanted to point out that this was just a scrim. This is for practice for both teams, but also this scrim was for to allow me personally to get my first ever cast in. Thank you, Dylan, for allowing me to do that. Massive shout out to you, mate.
Thank you for joining me.
But please, just quickly as a last little note, please, no toxicity regarding the league. Thank you, Bailey, for actually stepping in and saying something there. Appreciate it, mate. But yeah, no, there was a point to the scrim. It was allowing us to practice, and for these boys to obviously practice as well, because that's what matters most in preparation for the big league.
Yes, it is. So for those of you still in chat, if you want to know what's going on with RXL later today, at 5 o'clock here on my channel, we've got Apollo taking on the A team of No Strats. So we'll see how that one goes down. Apollo fresh off their win against Dadless in the lower bracket semi-finals, so they are going to be feeling pretty confident going into that one. So that is at 5 PM, and once again it is a best of one, and we'll have to see how that one goes, if it can go any better for the No Strats organisation.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see what the A team can pull off against Apollo. Apollo, obviously, very strong team. Been around for a long time. They have made roster changes here and there over the last couple months, but overall, they've got a very strong team. I talk to a couple of them regularly, and I'm good mates with some of them in there. It should be a good game. Yes, no, this is only a best of one game, wasn't it? I believe.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a great game. It was just interesting. It was an interesting to see how the defending team, Tyrant, was actually just playing these rounds straight from the off. They knew. I think they knew what they were doing going to dine-in. I think they wanted to do that, and I think they straight from the off they just had confidence. They knew who they were playing. They knew how they were playing as a team, who was going to be where, etc. And I think it was just a great game for them. For the B team, however, of for the B team with no strats. Definitely just a little bit of an eye opener. Need to be able to drone, need to sort of communicate, and sort of play as a comp, not as much as a ranked, because sadly that's just how it looked like. All credit to both teams though. Massive respect for both teams.
Yeah, I think that was No Strat's first scrim. I haven't seen them play elsewhere, so it was a good eye-opener, so hopefully they can watch things back and realise what they need to improve on, and I think the main thing is definitely droning.
Yes, key,
Gunfights, they
definitely.
seem decent at. They definitely had, especially round 6, as you said, they were looking much better. But then with the lack of intel on the anchors, which is very surprising, actually Dofa was roaming, but the roamers were so effective because there was almost no droning. Refrags were actually fairly decent at the start. We saw when in round 1, Shadow getting the kill onto the buck, and to be instantly refragged was a good shout, especially as it was the Legion that went down, and the Legion is an operator that you don't want to lose fairly early on. So I think
No,
it was a good
definitely
eye
not.
opener. There are definitely some positives to take away, but there are a lot of things that they will realise they need to work on.
Yeah, well, as obviously this is their B team, so players are obviously either there for fun potentially, or even trying to make their way up to the A team. Um, it is what it is. Um, they just got to they got to look back at the tape and actually realize where they went wrong, what they did well, what they can capitalize on. There's so many different factors that could be spoken about. Especially if you're getting a clean sweep of a 7-0, especially on Villa. Um, but I wish the best for both teams, really. Hopefully, the thing that we don't want to see is obviously teams disbanding over scrims, league games, etc. So hopefully, my biggest fear is that the B team will disband just from a scrim, and that's what we don't want. We don't want anyone disbanding over a loss. We've seen it happen too many
Nah.
times.
Yeah, I think it's a pointless thing as well, because scrims are there for you to practice your strats, and you can't practice your strats if your team just disbands. But yeah, I think both teams definitely had some positives to take away. The Tyrant, I feel like the negatives would have been more towards the start of the game, and then after the first couple rounds they started to pick up momentum, and then no
Yeah,
strats
definitely.
couldn't break it at all. And I think when you complete in a full rotation, you might think, yeah, that's respectable, but then to win dining twice, and then your confidence is going to go up.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely think they decided to go there. They knew what they were doing. You're completely correct. After a little bit, it always happens whenever you play in a scrim. I get it. I've had it before. You get the blues, don't you? Your hands are shaky, your hands feel cold sometimes. Your head isn't always there. It's not the same as it's just jumping into a ranked, and you got to feel for maybe the other team. Maybe that's what happened to them. But Tyrant, it took them, like you said, a couple of rounds to get into it, but they definitely did look great. I have to admit, Cheesy was looking good. Sheldon was actually looking very good himself in the Rome games. All credit to them. And like I said, the people hauled in sight, the other three, well, I also said to say, just done it well. It'll be interesting to see what they can do against other teams in the league, or other teams they want to scrim against. Hopefully, I can get in and watch them as well. But I just want to also point out Dishi Dofa did play well as well. I can see him in the chat. I can see him in the chat saying some things. Um, but yeah, like I said, full credit to both teams. And Dylan, thank you again. Hopefully, I can get in on another cast of you,
Of
and
course.
hopefully I can get my own cast up as well.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you all for sticking around. If you did enjoy, feel free to drop a follow. At 5 p.m, we're back here once again. Apollo take on the A team, and that is in a placement game. So make sure you come and check that one out. But thank
Awesome.
you all for watching.